why we have this. Before, we haven't really have this particular implementation of precision learning. This we first experienced, actually, talking about history, is that way back, some of the goals that you've been there in the exchange program, you experienced that. And that was brought about from the success program. And actually, I experienced myself too. And it's a very powerful tool for everybody, especially in the big team, in a very short environment, to be able everybody to understand what is supposed to be done. We're not trying to single out individuals, not individual infractions, but everybody have the responsibility, and that's what it is. And at that time, the people who instructed to start the push-up is that they have to do it themselves. As a leader, they do it because they want everybody to know it's not singling anybody, but they have themselves, who initiated it, has the responsibility, okay, to make sure people understand why this is wrong and why this is not acceptable, especially in a safety situation. It's something we cannot really left for a later time. Then we have to do something. Please make sure that in certain situations, the positional learning may not be appropriate, like when we have a lecture, a discussion hosted by a panel or whoever. In that time, we will not be able to, get somebody to just get the whole team to do the positional learning. So what happened at that time? What I would suggest to do is that we will still have a warning. We go to the particular person and let them know there is something that is not right, okay? And you're being disruptive, or you're disturbing others. The person actually is taking away the opportunity for other people to pay attention and learn from the experience, right? So you can give them a warning. Okay, please, keep quiet or discontinue your behavior. If he continues, so what happens? Without trying to disrupt too much, we have to then, in that case, try to remove him or her from the environment, because we don't want the whole team to be disrupted just by one single person. In that case, what happens is that we will try to administer the positional learning in a later time, after the instructor of the session is completed at that time. Okay? Please make sure that the learning is the main priority in this program. That's what we have been debated for the longest time. Another thing that I want to mention is that we want to one of the main things that we only implemented this positional learning now this year is that for all the other years we have a lot of debate. What we try to do within the committee and all the concept for this program is that we want to have positive reinforcement. This is something that's a lot more important, because this is really provide everybody the opportunity to understand what their responsibilities are. Okay? Because when you reinforce that, okay, this particular person, you've done something that is not really according to the code of conduct, it's your responsibility to try to keep it within the code of conduct. Then he or she will, if he did it properly next time around, then we should really tell them, this is something that, okay, we recognize you have changed your behavior. We should provide that recognition. Say, okay, that's good. Now we recognize you and we appreciate what you've done, right? This is more important in the sense that, and it's also for the person, you feel good about it too. Most of the time, because you achieve something, you're being recognized for what you've done positively, and that's what we want to do. And this is a behavior, actually, in a lot of the teaching environments, they trying to reinforce, even for people who have problems in pay attention or in really a very rebellious peoples that has been for the teaching of those students or teenagers, that has been fully emphasized a lot. Is give them the responsibility. One of the example I heard about is that for the worst behavior people in a troubled group, teen group, the worst person with the behavior is given the leadership role so that they can have the opportunity to learn and become a leader. When he put himself in the role of a leader, a lot of times you realize it's not that easy because you want other people to lead. You have to get other people's attention. You have to lead by example. This is one of the understanding and one of the seminars that I heard about. And I just want to share it with everybody. Okay? Any questions? Any comments? That's all I have.
What happened after you announced the positional learning and someone comes up to you and say, I cannot do push-up or sit-up? As an excuse? Like,
Okay.
What you tell that person?
If there are situations that people cannot really do a full positional learning, a push-up, they have to try to do the best they can. Because a lot of people, from the experience I had in the exchange program, everybody did do it. Even if they cannot, ask them to do the lady push-up, which is half using the knees instead of using all the way to the foot, right? They have to, half push-ups. Basically, they have to still have to do it, but do the best they can. It's the matter of the attempt to do it at least. Okay, unless of course if they really have back problems or whatever, then we have to find another way of dealing with it. Is that ask it, what can you do? So what do you think you can? It's one of the things that you can talk to that particular person is, what can you do? Right?
Can I make a comment here? I believe the positional learning of push-up is just a gesture. We are not saying if you want to get the whole group to do 10 push-ups, for example, we are not asking these people to do 2 professionally done push-ups. No, it's just a gesture that you guys, there's a message we want to pass on to you. There's something that we don't think is appropriate, and as a group, you guys should learn about it and then remember. So doing the push-up is just a way to help them to remember this incident. So I would say if someone come up and say, I couldn't do push-up, I would just ask them to follow the group to do whatever push-up that you are capable of doing, right? It's not Olympic. We are not giving you a 10-point evaluation. No, it's just a gesture.
Or you can say alternative is a sit-up instead of push-up, or...
I would suggest that we don't go into bargaining with these people. If someone come out and say, I cannot do push-up, then I won't suggest we go into bargaining. What can you do? Blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you go into other issues, right? Because as I believe that positional learning is just a gesture. We want people to do that particular action just to help them to remember it.
But sometimes, yeah,
right?
they do have a macro reason. Last time when we remember, like that lady was saying, like, she has a medical reason not to do the push-up, but she can do the sit-up.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
so we just like tell the person that do the sit-up.
What I'm trying to say, if that person offer an alternative, just take it. And avoid going into a bargaining situation on what you can do. I don't want you to do that, you don't want to do that, blah, 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 right? Avoid going to that bargaining situation. That's my point.
Yeah, just